All right. Well, welcome everyone to, this is episode 1 of the virtual Fit Foodie Roadshow. FYI, Michael, that's the name of the show that you're free to be on. And today I have with me my pal from my personal training days back in Seattle, Michael Hildebrand of Michael Hildebrand Fitness. And Michael is, he studied exercise science at the University of Utah. He was a student athlete there and a strength coach and athletic trainer for the past 18 years. That's like a lifetime, dude.
That seems like so long. When I was like, am I that old now? Yeah, crazy.
Neither am I. It's okay. He works currently with collegiate athletes. Is that how you pronounce that? Collegiate?
Collegiate, yeah. That sounds awful.
I'm educated. Collegiate athletes, youth athletic development, and then he has private clients that he does just like general functional strength, mobility, prehab training, all of the kinds of things that you need if you're just like a human that has a body, right?
Right, that's right. Any and all of us need.
Say that again?
Any and all of us need.
Totally.
You walk 2 feet, or even if you don't. There's a lot of stuff.
He's also an avid outdoor enthusiast, a skier, climber, hiker. You can see his Facebook profile picture is like a little ski jump action shot. Looks like a G.I. Joe. It can't be real. And he is married and the father to 2 amazing kiddos, one of whom we're going to talk about shortly, which is very exciting. It's following in Dad's footsteps. But first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to chat with me today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm super excited to pick your brain and just like provide some resources for people as they're shut in their houses. And some people even are not able to go on walks because of whatever is happening with the government where they live. And so anything that we can do to keep our bodies moving inside is so important right now. And I know you've just transitioned your whole practice online like overnight, right? So
absolutely. These crazy times we're living in. I know there's such a need to move. We've got to be moving. We're not meant to be sedentary beings. We've been kind of forced inside in these crazy days we're living in. And yeah, my normal practice completely evaporated a month ago.
So you were athletes. College? Yeah, so you were a college strength and conditioning coach. You had college athletes.
Yep.
Had clients in Seattle at the gym.
Yeah.
And
then, go there. And then I have, so at the college, I've got some teams I work with there. So we don't have access to the gym there. So they're all on their own. Mm-hmm. And even at home on their own. So I program them workouts to do on their own if I'm not there, but they don't have access to a gym anymore. So because we're all home. I have a youth sports academy that I strength train at as well. So kids that are working to go play in college. So they're like sophomores, juniors, seniors in high school. Okay. Very talented athletes, but same situation. Our gym evaporated there. So yeah, we've been kind of left in this vacuum of what to do. So you're right. I've recently moved everything online into these live workouts, and it's been really exciting. They're not recorded. I'm live.
And you're working with them, right?
Which is a total.
Because when you're a trainer, you're just kind of standing around and like, oh, go pick up that weight. Coaching them on form. It's a totally different thing than being a group fitness instructor.
Yeah, you're kind of wearing a couple different hats. I'm trying to look at people on the video too and be coaching and tuning, but I'm finding it's much more effective to be doing the workout, providing the source of motivation and positivity, which I really want to bring. I feel like that's been my big motivation to doing this also is people are stressed out and it's scary and people are nervous.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of negative energy and trying to be this force of positive energy. Like I feel like I normally am, but trying to convey that through the camera. So working, sweating, and trying to provide the information while I'm working out. So trying to just cue. And I've been doing this for so long. And as you know, Michelle, like there's certain tendencies that people have when they're like maybe doing a squat. Like their heels might come up at the bottom of a squat, their knees might cave in. So just assuming that most people might be making those mistakes, right? You're just verbally cueing it while I'm doing it. But yeah, I'm right there with you, doing the workout, which is pretty cool. I finished the workout after about an hour and I'm just like drenched in sweat. I told my wife, like, I haven't sweated like this. And the irony of this is I'm going to come out of this being in better shape than I think I've ever been, which is awesome.
Right. Because you're doing it, what, twice a day?
Yeah, sometimes twice a day.
Okay.
I guess 2 or 3 days a week, they're twice a day. Although I've been growing and I, like, goodness knows, we've got the time. Like, I can add more workouts. So
yeah,
2 or 3 days I'm doing a couple workouts a day. The others are just a one.
gotcha.
But
so, okay, so I have some questions for you because a lot of people have, maybe they're not college level athletes, maybe they are, I don't know. But a lot of people have activities and sports and things that they have been doing, even if they're just like a weekend warrior on a soccer team, and now they're just in this sedentary lifestyle, suddenly not able to go to their fitness classes, not able to go to the gym, maybe not even having access to weights. I know
Absolutely.
a lot of people are like, I don't want to lose my gains. If they are trying to maintain their athleticism and maybe they don't have access to a squat rack like they used to, what are the things that you think are the most important that they should be focusing on?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, everybody, regardless of athletic skill or point in your athletic career, from the professional level to the weekend warrior, like you say, and even if you're not an athlete, even if you're just an average person, mobility has been so important. So that's one of the big things that we work with on these workouts. It's not just all out group exercise sweat session. I spend a lot of time, good condensed cohesive warm up. So working on, getting some heat going, getting warmed up, but then spending, a significant percentage of time after that in just mobility. So just active mobility. So taking joints through full active range of motions, CARs, all that controlled active range of motions, specifically hips and shoulders, because we're all so sedentary right now, right? Hopefully we're able to get outside and go for walks, or ride a bike or whatever. But even that, we're just moving through this sagittal plane of motion, right? Just moving forward.
Right. Just one range of motion. Yeah.
So the best case scenario, that's what we're doing. We're probably not out moving in dynamic ways at all. So getting people to take their joints through full ranges of motion, right? If your hip or your shoulder, just doing big ball and socket ranges of motion and just trying to open up those joints a little bit. Really, really, really important. So that's kind of where my emphasis is before we really get going on some of this other stuff. And that's true of everybody, because most people are, if you're working from home or if you're a student, doing whatever, we're sitting most of the time during the day. So I think that's been really beneficial. Highly recommended. Yeah.
Makes sense. And then just for general, if you are trying to do a body weight workout at home, and I know that one of the reasons people hire personal trainers is that if I'm in the gym by myself, and I was a trainer for almost 10 years, so not as long as you, but long enough to know how to like put together a balanced workout, I am still likely to only do the things I like to do, right? I'm still likely to just work on vanity muscles that I can see in the mirror. Like, people don't necessarily think about how to create a balanced routine. So like, what is your approach to that? Or what would you say are like maybe the top 3 or 5 exercises that are important to be, or types of exercises that are important to be in a balanced routine?
Yeah, for sure. Well, let me say this too. The cool thing about this situation is, I've found doing this for the last month now that I'm getting people, and we're almost forced to take our workout routines, dial it back a little bit, and really focus on fundamentals so much more. Right, me personally, and I've been doing this for so long, but me personally am doing that, right, and then conveying that to the people I'm working with. Just basic fundamental human movement and spending more time on that, much more functional training. And I've always emphasized functional training in the gym with people, but now we're almost put in a position where we have to put more emphasis on that. Maybe because of limited equipment, maybe because of limited space, whatever that might be. It's tremendously beneficial in the end run. So the irony of that is awesome.
Yeah.
So exercise wise, then, with that in mind, things like, off the top of my head, low bear positions. So a low bear crawl. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah.
So you're in an all four position, like a tabletop position. So shoulders are at 90 degrees, hips are at 90 degrees, knees are at 90 degrees. You're just on your hands and knees. And then focus on a neutral spine. So really concentrating on the details of this. So pelvis is tucked in, your navel's drawn up in your spine, you're engaging your core, shoulders are pushed back and down, you're putting your armpits into your back pockets, all of these verbal cues. But then you lift your knees about 2 inches off the ground, 2 or 3 inches off the ground. So now it's just your wrists and your toes. You kind of shift forward a little bit on your shoulders, you really feel that midsection engage. And then from there, there's a myriad of movements you do. Just holding a low bear position for 30 seconds or whatever is great, right? The core strength, the core development in there, the hip positions are awesome, the shoulder positions are awesome. But then you can move into lots of different things. We can do shoulder taps, right? Where you're taking one hand off the ground, create an asymmetrical shape where your core has to really fire up. If you have a light weight, you can be doing pull-throughs, right? So setting one dumbbell outside your right hand, grabbing it with your left, pulling it over, vice versa. Lifting one foot up, doing almost a bird dog motion. So all the things you can build off of that low bear shape are great. And you don't need a lot of space. You don't need any equipment. And they're fundamentally awesome.
Nice.
So that's the highest recommended. That's kind of where we start.
Not where I thought you were going to start. This is very exciting.
Yeah, that functional strength, right? It's all about that core. I mean, squats are great, lunges are great, push-ups are great, burpees, all that.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that, right? Putting them into a good, condensed, cohesive program is really important. But that functional power, your ability to engage that core, breathe really well without sacrificing your posture. Am I like, as I'm hunched over talking to you like this?
I know, I'm like slouched over to the side of my chair, just getting comfy.
Engaging that midsection, engaging all these muscles in a really good way, and then moving fundamentally off of that shape. And then once you kind of get that and you start to feel comfortable with that and you're feeling muscles engaged that should be engaging, and then we can take that out into doing a push-up or all the different variations of doing a push-up with an arm extension, right? So I'm always working towards asymmetrical shapes, especially in a situation like this where we lack equipment. And again, what's awesome about this, when we are in the gym, taking this knowledge back to the gym, it's not like this should be a temporary thing, right? All of these fundamental human movements need to be incorporated into strength programs, even if you do have access to strength racks and Olympic bars and plates and whatever. You should still be doing these low bear shapes and these asymmetrical positions.
Yeah.
So then a push-up with an arm extension is awesome, right? Push-ups are great. You can do variations of that. We can be on your knees, be from your knees, do a push-up, and then reaching one arm overhead. So now you're just on one arm at the top of the push-up. So core is really engaged, right? Your structure is really engaged. So much more beneficial to just banging out push-ups. And interesting, too. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not that many obsessive compulsive people like me who can just sit there for, set after set of doing push-ups. I mean, they get old.
Right. That's part of the issue, right? Is that people get bored just doing the same exercises that they know over and over. But like you're alluding to, like there's hundreds of variations you could do with a push-up, focusing on core strength, focusing on, the form that is going to give you just so many returns when you do get back in the gym, when you do get into whatever programming you're used to, right? Whether that's bench press, if you're a power lifter like me, or whether it's like something more functional than bench press.
Right. I mean, even with a power lifter, right? I mean, that core stability, right, that you get from the asymmetrical shape. So push up with an arm extension or whatever, your ability to stabilize through your pillar off of just that one arm position, even though, ultimately your goal might be to just push as much weight as you can. You still need that pillar strength. So it's something that we can really be developing right now, which is great. So, and then the other piece to that, not just the asymmetrical shapes, but working through transversal plane of motion. So our bodies move through those 3 planes of motion. You've got the frontal plane of motion, right, where we move side to side in a lateral way. Your sagittal plane of motion, moving front to back. And then transversal plane of motion, where we're rotating and twisting. So things where you're using your obliques and as your hips rotate around. So we're doing a squat. Squats are awesome. Good squat mechanics are key and so vitally important in all of that. But as we squat, maybe as a variation, dropping outside your left hip, and then as you stand up out of your squat, rotating outside your right shoulder. So we're working across this transversal plane of motion. We have to engage those obliques and keep that spinal integrity together as you rotate. Very awesome, very effective.
Beautiful.
They're different than Yeah, they're great. The same thing with lunges. So we're always trying to work in these asymmetries and in these transversal plane of motions. Then again, you don't need equipment. You just need a tiny bit of space. That's it.
Yeah.
A little bit of weight, then awesome. And it doesn't have to be in dumbbell form. I had somebody join me in one of our group workouts Friday. What's today? All the days run together now.
Today's Sunday.
It's Easter. Friday, I had a guy join on my workout. He didn't have any weight, so he just grabbed paint cans. And it was awesome. I was like, hey, that works, man. Do it.
Right. Like hoisting household objects.
No excuses.
That's more functional than that, right?
Right, totally. But I love that, and I try to convey that message, but there's no excuses, right? If we're doing even just like a single arm overhead press and you don't have any weight, that's fine. You don't need any weight. Just use the weight of your arm and just focus on that motion. Keeping your shoulder down, all of the visual or all of the verbal cues that I'm giving you. Focus on those things and just feel that muscle engage. You don't necessarily need the weight in the context that we're working right now. We're just working on those good ranges of motion, good joint integrity, good pillar stability, good strength, good core strength. And that's it. There's no excuses. There's no reason to not move. You should never say, oh, I don't have dumbbells, so I'm just not going to work out,
Right. Well, and it's so interesting too, just coming from this like mindset of, being someone who works with athletes, being someone who works seasonally, it feels a little bit like a forced off season in some ways. Yeah. And I think some people who go to the gym regularly, who aren't in any kind of a competitive cycle, might not really ever think about taking an off season, going back to basics, doing body weight workouts for a month or 2 or 3 or however long we're going to be doing this, right? But how valuable is that? Because how many times have you seen people try to go too hard, too fast with weighted exercises? They don't have the core strength, and then all of a sudden they injure themselves and they're out for a month.
You almost feel inevitable when they train like that, right? So it's really teaching people. I mean, I see so much irony in this situation, right? We're forced into this situation, and you can take this mindset that it's negative and it's awful and we're bummed out. And granted, it is, right? It's hard, but there's so many positives that we can glean from it, and that's one of them. You're right. Forcing people to learn about periodizing their workouts, because most just average people going to the gym and just hammering out the same workout day after day after day after day, year after year after year, they don't periodize anything, and eventually it leads to injury. Whereas, you're right, athletes in a competitive season, we periodize that training protocol through this 12-month span. And it's changed for them right now because they're forced into this, like you said, this quasi off season. It's kind of sad for some of those competitive athletes. They're being robbed of some of their seasons.
For sure.
Especially the seniors right now. My heart goes out to them. But yeah, forcing the other demographic of people, take a break, focus on those fundamentals, stop just lifting as much as you can possibly lift every time you go to the gym.
Right.
That's not a good thing. It's okay to be in a recovery phase almost. And it doesn't mean it's necessarily easy, right? I mean, the workouts we're doing aren't easy.
Right.
Especially if you haven't been training in that context,
Right.
They're definitely not easy. They're just hard in a different way, and they allow your body to recover in a way that somebody who's been training heavy for a long time really needs to.
Totally. And some of the workouts or some of the exercises that you were mentioning where you are moving in that transverse plane of motion, anytime you're moving across your body, you're actually strengthening the corpus callosum that communicates the left and right hemisphere of our brains. So for those of us that really need our brains to be working for work right now, anytime you can incorporate those cross-body movements in your workouts, yes, you're training your core, yes, you're increasing flexibility in your spine, but you're also training your brain. And I think that's a piece that, I used to work in Silicon Valley and I trained a lot of software engineers. Well, Seattle, same thing, really. Software engineers apparently are our demographic, or mine. But, a lot of them, they didn't make that connection really until you make it for them that okay, you training in the gym, even though it's not like Lumosity or one of those brain teaser apps, this is making you smarter. This is making you more adaptable to stress, to emotional stress, to intellectual stress. The ability of our body to adapt to changing types of exercise is huge. It's like a huge piece of the wellness puzzle. So
I think
being
what's cool about this,
to switch the way that you're working out is definitely a big piece of that right now.
big cognitive benefit for sure.
Yeah.
I think what's been so cool with this too, working with people in this context, is getting them to understand. I find myself verbally cueing even more than what I normally do in the gym, because like I was saying, I'm working out as well, and so I'm not necessarily seeing every single movement that the client I'm working with in person I normally would. So I'm cueing everything, and I feel like I'm verbally cueing constantly, and I hope, and I'm getting the feedback too that this is happening, that people are getting a better understanding of what muscles should be firing, and getting a better understanding of what physically they should be feeling, sensations they should be feeling. And that's a great thing. I think something that hopefully they're gleaning from this too is it's not mindless, right? I think sometimes people go into a workout and hire somebody like us to take them through a workout and program a workout for them. Assume it's just this layman thing, you just go squat and whatever. But there's so much that goes into it. There's so much there's so much concentration that has to happen in a good workout, right? Whether it's positions of your feet, the relationship of your foot to the floor, right? Making sure your big toe, your heel, and the outer edge of your foot is in a really good position, a strong, powerful position on the floor. And your ankle stability and your knee stability, where your hips are, your pelvis being turned into a neutral position, which is something that I'm cueing constantly on these workouts, right? People understanding what an anterior pelvic tilt is, what a neutral pelvis, and what a posterior pelvic tilt is, and getting in the right position so that we're turning the right muscles on, turning the wrong muscles off, getting things back into a good position. I think again, a situation like this, people can really take that information and run with it once all this blows by us. We get back to normal.
Yeah, well, it's so empowering. It's like it's enabling them to take responsibility instead of just like how a lot of clients will want to just kind of outsource the thinking to a trainer or a coach, which is valid. Like you have your own profession. It's not necessarily in your wheelhouse to design a workout. Great. That's why you would hire someone like Michael, right? But also, if you can get that, like that mindful relationship to your body and that mind-body connection, it's gonna just, once you get back to whatever a regular workout is, it's gonna just be like a rocket ship taking off, because you'll be able to feel what your anatomy is supposed to be doing in each position. And that's huge. Like, what a huge benefit for those people to be able to actually feel it instead of just kind of have you tell them, you be the feeling for them, right? Like, oh, tilt your pelvis, oh, right, shoulders back.
It's almost like the light bulb moment for them, right? Like the light bulb goes off and bang, oh, this is what I'm supposed to feel. And I've always, my whole career, I'm trying to convey that information to people, or that passion to people, that you've got to take ownership of your life. You can't outsource it to me. Like, hire me to help you, and I will give everything I have to get you on the right program and get you to where you want to be, get you to where your goals are. But at the end of the day, it's you that has to do it, right? You have to take ownership of your body, whether it's the fitness side of things and the athleticism side of things, like I'm doing, with the health and wellness piece, your nutrition, all of that. You have to take ownership of it. You have to do it yourself. And I will bring all the positive energy in the world I can bring. But at the end of the day, you're the one who has to think about where your feet are when you're doing the squats.
Yep.
I'll tell you, but you got to kind of analyze and self-analyze. You can't outsource it.
Totally. No, I think that's brilliant. What a great side effect, honestly.
Yeah. I think there's so many positive things that we can get out of this. As a strength coach, as a trainer, I'm pretty excited about it, honestly, which feels weird because there's so much juxtaposition here. There's so much like angst and stress and nervousness and everything that's going on. Yet I'm able to connect with people on this new level. It's really exciting and really cool.
That is cool. Yeah, it is cool. And that's what we all need right now to get through the stress, right? Is human connection.
Yeah.
However we find it. So that's super important.
And yeah, it's pretty neat.
So I wanted to ask you about Griffin, your
Yeah.
10-year-old.
Yeah, my son, almost 10. He turns 10 in a week.
He's 10 this week in a week?
April 20th, yeah.
Oh my.
What is that? 8 days, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So he is following in your footsteps. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So he's been coming to the gym with me forever, right? If he's not in school, I think I remember you seeing him in the gym a long time ago.
When he was little though.
Even littler, yeah. So now he's 10 and he's this awesome little guy. And since we've been home, he's home from school, and I have a little girl also, so my little daughter. They're at home with me, and so I'm kind of wearing different hats. I'm doing these workouts and really throwing everything I have into this, but I'm also Mr. Hildebrand. I'm also teaching them. I've become a homeschool teacher, which is crazy. But they're in my little studio here with me as well doing these workouts. And Griffin has taken upon himself to start his own YouTube channel for kids workouts, for kids exercise. Totally on his own accord. I had nothing to do with it. He actually went to his mom and was like, "Mommy, I want to do this. I want to set up a YouTube channel." So away he goes. He's filming a video every day. It's pretty awesome. So they're like 5 to 10 minute videos. Yeah, it's great.
How cute is that? Does he have followers?
He's got followers. Yeah, he does. He's got some followers. He just started it. So he's trying to really grow it. He's really excited about it. He emailed his PE teacher at the elementary school, and the PE teacher was really excited about it. So he blasted it out on the school webpage. So now he's like little elementary school famous.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is great. It's it's Feel the Burn. Let me double check. Feel the Burn 543 is his YouTube channel.
My God. Okay, so you'll send that to me too, right? So I can make sure and put the notes, because if you have kids who want to work out, they can feel the burn, apparently.
Feel the burn, yeah. It's pretty cool. 5 to 10 minutes. He did a video the other day. It's pretty
I love that. Love that. What a great example. They're so lucky to have you. That's awesome. Is your daughter into fitness at all, or how old is she now?
She is 7. She turns 8 in July. She is
we're working together.
Awesome. Her little personality is starting to really shine through. She's got I think she's getting my acumen she's definitely an outdoor enthusiast. So last year I took her rock climbing for the first time outside.
Fun.
She just ate it up. She's my little individual sport superstar. So she's got her skateboard and her scooter and big rock climber. She was loving skiing this year. She was really taking off on her skis this year. So when the ski season got squashed a month ago, that was kind of a big bummer for us. But because she was tearing it up on her skis, she's gonna be my little athlete. It's pretty cool.
I love it. What's her name again?
Hazel Jane Rose. Yeah, that's
right. I think she was just barely a baby when you and I were working together.
I think so. Yeah. I think I have a video of her playing in the big tire in the gym that we used to work out together.
Oh, so great! I love it. Oh, that's amazing. Well, how can people get in touch with you if they want to do your workout? So you're in the Pacific time zone. You're in Washington State.
Yeah. So I'm in the Pacific time zone. So you can send me an email, mhildy1@gmail, Michael Hildebrand on Facebook, and mhildy1 on Instagram, mhildy1.
Okay.
So those are the best ways to get a hold of me. Send me an email, send me a message through those channels, and then I can send you the details, send you the link, come jump on. So the other thing I wanted to say too, I've had a lot of requests, and so we're starting this here next week. I'm going to start doing a little bit more beginner classes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, right. So for people who, the classes I have been doing up until now, the big groups I've been doing, we're moving relatively quick. It's scalable. Everything is progressible and regressible. So whatever exercise we're doing, we can make it a little bit easier. We can make it a little bit harder. And I'm cueing all of those things through the workout. So we can, whatever level you're at, you can do those workouts. But I wanted to set up another workout, another class, specifically for people either who are not confident with the technology, doing a live online work, getting that set up, or not confident or comfortable with some basic movement patterns, like a basic squat pattern or a lunge pattern.
Perfect.
So a little bit more of a beginner class set that up. So you can message me and I'll let you know the times that you can jump on those too.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a great service that you're providing. And yeah, I mean, I feel like what a great time to be able to be connected online and have the technology to do this. And
yeah, absolutely. It's a unique position to be in for sure. The technology's there. Everybody has it at their fingertips, and we're forced into this position, and I try to look at it as an opportunity for people to get back to some fundamental movement, some fundamental shape, some functional strength that they're not working on elsewhere or otherwise, and kind of dialing those in,
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I'm inspired. I'm gonna go do my crossbody core workout now.
Low bear shape and
do my low bear, exactly. That's perfect. Well, thanks again for chatting with me, and I'll make sure that I put all of the information about how to reach you in the notes. And if anyone has any questions, they can find you on social media. Yeah.
Absolutely. Message me. Give me a follow on Instagram too. That'd be great.
Sounds good. Right on. Well, have a great rest of your. Sorry, say it again.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. No, I'm excited about this. This will be a big service to people, I think.
Good.
All right. Have a great rest of your weekend, Michael. Thanks so much.
Good job. See ya.